Good morning to everybody, and thank you to have been here, to have accepted to attend this final conference for the Chance Project meeting. This project is lasting 3 years and a half and will end on the 1st of July. So we are luckily come to the conclusion in a good way. And this is why we are celebrating with friends and with colleagues that are also involved in coordinating other projects in food and agriculture field. And this will be dedicated not only to disseminate our results, but to start a discussion about what we have got and what is exploitable in a proper manner in terms of also of policy, in terms of education, in terms also of future research. I will not take too much time because we have a very, very crowded program, luckily. And I would like to introduce Dr. Emilio Gatto, who is the General Director of Quality. Let's say it's a very long department in the Italian Ministry of Agriculture. And since I think that our project needs a support for the policymakers, I'm really grateful to the Dr. Gatto to witness the presence of the Italian government to this conference, especially because today is the second day of our presidency at the European Council, the Italian presidency. So it's probably a lucky coincidence, but it is. So please, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express my appreciation to the coordinator of the Chains project, Professor Francesco Capozzi, that is my friend, for organizing this conference and for inviting me to express my opinion to such a qualified audience about the importance of carrying out researches focused on topics that are fundamental, not just for economy, but we can say for the quality of our life. As Francesco told just before, I represent the Ministry of Agriculture, of course, of Italy, which is a country that supports researchers on food quality, even in this difficult financial hardship characterizing our time. The sensory quality is obviously important for a country like Italy, which is considered and in effect is a reference for its gastronomic excellence, care for the ingredients, and the attention in the production of the food. Even beyond, Italy is also very sensitive to research that aims at enhancing the nutritional value of the food production. In recent times, Europe, and Italy in particular, is facing an economic crisis difficult to overcome, forcing a great reduction in their overall household expenditure. We can consider that latest studies indicate that since the 2008, about the 20% of the total consumption is reduced. So this figure takes on a worrying meaning if we consider that the expenditure in food products amount at about 1,500 billion of euros. And in Italy, it is about 70% of this total amount. If we consider this, we have to say that policies must be directed to ensure that this economic crisis does not affect gravely the consumption of high-quality food products. It is alarming that a nutritional divide could occur between who has the chance to have an healthy diet and the people who could not afford it, with important consequences on the healthcare and welfare. For this reason, research aiming at assuring high standard for nutritional quality of food whilst keeping their costs low are highly regarded by policymakers. But we know that quality has a cost. Thus, it is expected that the food products costing less are less valuable. Nevertheless, every food item present in the market has to be safe. Of course, it does not have to generate risks for human health. Safety is associated to the absence of pathogens, pesticides, or harmful substances. But quality is beyond safety, because it relies also on the right quantity of noble nutrients like fibers, vitamins, or other healthy bioactive compounds. Nutritional surveys have shown that these precious components are mostly contained just in food products which are less consumed, especially by the lower income population that cannot afford them. Therefore, the responsibility of Italy, while taking the presidency of the European Council for the period July-December 2014 semester, is about sensitizing the European community in promoting the consumption of food of good quality, possibly by finding the right policies, making those products accessible to a whole population. The result of the Chance project will be read with great attention, and we hope it could be one of the inspiration sources for the next Universal Exposition that will be held in Milan next year. Thus, I proudly welcome this audience of scientists and stakeholders, as I'm here representing the country which has coordinated through the University of Bologna a consortium of 9 European countries, covering each multidisciplinary aspect necessary to face with obviously the necessary competence such a difficult challenge. I'm sure that the result of this project will pave the way to other initiatives, opening the path toward high quality at low cost based on scientific evidence, trying to use innovation without forgetting what tradition brought us through all the centuries past. I hope, therefore, that the future of our economy will allow us to ensure even to the weakest social groups the chance to prevent disease through a healthy diet. The role of science must be increasingly considered by producers, our food industry, and by all the food production chain up to the consumer. We must be aware that producing in an enlightened way is the trump card not to suffer choices based on mere market rules in a market which, through an increasing globalization, is risking to dictate rules which are too distant from ours. It is thus clear why the European population has all the interest in finding a common vision for preserving our tradition, always putting the quality at our highest priority, especially for food production. I wish to all of you that this day of discussion, dissemination of knowledge will be very fruitful for all us. And so I wish you a good working day, and thank you for your attention. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Dr. Gatto, for these encouraging words from Italy. We need some help, and we know that we have found in the policy makers support. Now I would like to introduce Professor Fabio Fava. He is the Italian representative in Societal Challenge 2 in Horizon 2020 Committee. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Good morning to all of you. Thank you, Francesco, for the introduction, in particular for the kind invitation to be here today. I'm really very pleased to be here. First of all, as a representative of new representative of Italian country in the Societal Challenge number 2, which took the follow-up of KBBE of FP7 program. I'm really very pleased to be here with this jacket, because this is one of the most prominent projects that allow Italy to be quite successful in KBBE, in particular under the food area, where we ranked second with 13 coordinated projects ongoing in the area of the food industry. So I'm very pleased to be here for this. But I'm also pleased to be here as a scientist involved in other projects, several FP7 projects, also in the area of food a little bit, because it's a very special project in my view, because it's a project in which the simple but also advanced at the same time research and innovation activities has been addressed to face one of the important societal challenge, which is the one of providing safety food, safe food, and in particular food enough for people who are facing the poverty, who are at risk of poverty. And this number, the number of people that are in this condition is very, very relevant. We are talking about over than 80 million of European citizens. This was 2010 information. I'm sure that this very particular long crisis that we are fighting, that we are living now, increased remarkably this number of people. So this project is very special, very relevant. It's also particular for the strategy that the coordinators, the other members of the consortium put in place. This is a multi-level approach. They identify the most significant, you identify the most significant population groups at risk of poverty, their nutritional problems, barriers for an healthy diet. So that is important, because this is the background on which, of course, the project had to be implemented. And then selection of ingredients, raw materials for the new formulation, development of new products, and assessment of the products in terms of quality, et cetera, and then the promotion of the products towards the industry, creating opportunities for implementation of the results, for the transfer of the knowledge into innovation. And not only this, because there were activities addressed to communicate these results, the involvement of policymakers, very relevant in the consortium. This is not common. This is a particular issue, particular opportunity associated with this project. And of course, training also. So a body of strategies that surely allow this project to provide important impact on the society, on the portion of society that facing the risk of poverty, but also new market opportunities, new competitiveness at the conventional industry. So, if you wish, new job opportunities that we need a lot in this period. And, of course, environmental sustainabilities, because all the strategies, including the technologies, were selected on the basis of their environmental impact. So, really, a very, very interesting initiative, well-implemented project, and an excellent effort that, in my view, paved the way for new opportunities in the frame of Horizon 2020, where we have, as you know, a particular focus area called Safe Food and Health Diet, specifically, therefore, focused on priorities like those implemented in this project. I wish to simply recall you that there are a couple of calls open for the 2015. The SFS 16, the title is Tackling Malnutrition in the Elderly, is a particular, of course, much demanding, much ambitious call, but in the frame of it, part of the activities performed here can find room, as an example, in designing and developing advanced evidence-based dietary strategies, recommendation for new food products to face malnutrition in elderly at risk of poverty. So a group of people that I hope to be wrong, but but I think a group of people that increased during the last few years at the European level. There is another call, interesting in my view, which is the call SFS 18, dealing with small farms. The title here is Small Farm, but Global Market, the role of small and family farms in food, nutritional security. So here, there is other room. There is another interesting opportunity for continuing or implementing some of the results of this project, because I think that you are in the condition to drive to propose some drivers for a new development model for small family farms, a small and located local food business, addressed to produce ingredients, but in particular raw materials that can be then implemented locally for producing healthy food and low price, etc., etc. And there is another recommendation, the final one, and then I leave the floor because I don't want to subtract time. My feeling is that your deliverables, surely your final report, would be very, very useful for the European Innovation Partnership active healthy aging, and also for the GEM program initiative healthy for healthy life. There are two prominent European initiatives that are writing strategic research agenda that are impacting on the committees developing the coming Horizon 2020 priorities. So these are few remarks few suggestions actually from my side, and thank you once again for the invitation, and congratulations to the coordinators, but all the consortium for the very special results that you collected in 3.5 years. There are many, but not too many. I am also coordinating project. 3.5 years are always a short time for doing so many things under an effective manner. Well, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Professor Fava, for such an important suggestion to proceed with our strategy. Now, I would like to leave the speech to the chair, to the other co-coordinator. We have for gender equality, but not only, just because we have experienced a very difficult pathway within this chance project, just because chance project is multidisciplinary. So we had to put together the whole food chain, starting from producing, but also up to the consumer, through the nutritionist, through the food chemist, the economist, the technologist. So many competencies put together, and in order to face and to be also effective in the coordination of such complicated project, we felt, starting from the beginning, that a chemist and a nutritionist together could face up much better the many issues that was rising during the project management. And also our project relied on the of course, on the steering committee composed by all the work package leaders, but also supported by the coordination team, including the economist that will talk about some results today, and also to Professor Dalla Rosa, who is the technologist, is full professor of technology at our university. So all the aspects were included in Antonella Samoggia is somewhere. Okay, it's there, so she's the economist. So this management team was able to face all the issues in this spread competencies. So thank you to attention, and let me introduce the co-coordinator, Alessandra Bordoni, who will chair this section, the first section. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I don't want to waste your time, and I want to delay the first session of this meeting that represents the happy end of the Chance Project. But let me say a few words about European projects that are a big opportunity for researchers, not only because you can get grants for performing new researchers, and it's our work, so it's okay, but I think that the very big opportunities is to meet other researchers and to have the possibility to exchange works with them and to get new friends. So before starting this meeting, I wish to thank very much all partners of the Chance Project, because it was a pleasure to work with you, and I hope to be involved in other action in the future, because it was really a pleasure. And of course, a very big thanks to Francesco, who was a very beautiful coordinator of the project. So thank you. Beautiful. It's yes, beautiful. So we work together in different projects, but okay. So okay.